I'm sitting with Joel and Christina in their backyard in Connecticut. And the fun thing about these two is I got to see them right before they came out to Connecticut. You called me and said you had a surprise, Christina, and that you were coming to Madison, and you were going to show me a surprise. What was my surprise? That you had gotten married.
Oh!
You didn't even tell him?
I must have. I don't. Probably not. It was to keep you in suspense. We showed up with that Jeep and a big U-Haul on the back and a new husband and surprised you and stayed for like 2 days.
2 or 3.
I got you guys to stay an extra day. There was definitely, because there was a day that I
That's right.
locked you guys in my apartment and said, just stay. It's all yours. I'm going to work.
Yes. We can't even tell you what went on in your house that day. We were
Yeah,
newlyweds.
Oh, so you came here to Mansfield, Connecticut to go to UConn for grad school, Christina. Mm-hmm. And what was your first impression of Connecticut?
So muggy and sticky. We showed up at our apartment, which we had never seen before, neither of us, and we were right on the ground level with a window going from the living room, and we moved all of our belongings into that apartment through that window.
All but the mattress.
Everything but the mattress.
Even the couch fit.
Yes. That was...
And Joel, what was your first impression? Because you had only lived in Reno and Las Vegas, right?
Yeah, well, other places on the west, but never the East Coast. Never been to the East Coast. It was pretty crazy. My first impression was adventure. I was pretty excited about starting a life with this girl, just wherever.
Like the new age Lewis and Clark.
Yeah. Can I be Lewis?
Yeah. Does he have a mustache?
So now, it's been 3 years later, and what have you learned from this adventure, this journey?
Can I go?
Yes, but don't be too negative.
Okay. Well then you go.
No.
I'm just kidding. My wife is brilliant. Very, very strong. Mm-hmm. So many things happened.
Hello, catcher.
And it was like winning the lottery because we really didn't know each other that well. We dated for 9 months and then got married, and so certain situations that I hadn't seen Christina in while dating, she just reacted in such a way that I have no examples, but it's just like, wow, that's my wife. I can't believe that I'm so lucky to have married this girl. We cut down our own Christmas tree. That
Every
was fun.
single year.
Every year, went back to the same place, cut down our own Christmas tree.
And Christine, you actually told me a little bit about that. The man who owns it dresses up as Santa every year?
Yes. Yes, he's amazing.
He's so great.
You pull up, he gives you candy canes.
And a saw. He gives you a saw.
And then, although we have this epic, amazing Jeep, once we pick our tree, he comes out in his little Toyota, which God knows how he fits inside.
It's a Tonka truck.
Yes.
It's so tiny.
He's like, this is it? All right. And he picks up the tree, puts it in back, and drives it up to the little shack where they cut it, or cut the little base off.
Yeah.
It's amazing. He is so, so kind. He's great.
He's great.
Very sarcastic.
You guys have really set a great example of community raising children, and talk about that a little bit, because I think it's phenomenal. I think it's probably one of the best things for Project Connect that I've learned since I've been here.
Yeah. I feel like even though through, hard times with all the people that I go to school with, I feel like you ultimately always are surprised by people. I was really nervous. It was the fall semester. We had just finished a show, and I hadn't told anyone at school that I was pregnant, just for fear of, I thought, oh, I'm going to be kicked out of the program. Oh, everyone, is just going to change my relationship with everyone, or the dynamic in the ensemble at school. And that one day I told one of my professors, who to my surprise was, and I went in with, this is what's going to happen. Nothing's going to change. I'm going to make it through, but there's going to be a baby. And he, okay, well, let's work together. And so I was in the room with all 10 of us at that time, and it was movement class. And I told Greg before, and he's like, I'll give you some time at the end of class today, and you can, share with the classmates, because it was like, it's time, you need to.
Sorry.
And so he left class, and on his way out, he said, and I'm going to turn this over to Christina. And so I was like, oh, good God. And we're all sitting in a circle, and everyone's like, in anticipation, what's going on? And it's like, well, on May 14th, Joel and I are going to have a baby. And before I could even get anything out, everyone smiles, laughs, excitement, like, oh my God, we're so happy for you, hugs, and just all this love. And I was like, you're not mad at me?
Since you've had the baby, you've kind of worked out a very community-based daycare or childcare system. So,
Jill, Catcher's godmother, has been there all the time, anything that we needed. So she has claimed Wednesdays. Even when my mother was here to take care of the baby, that was my mother's function while she was here, among other things. But Jill was still adamant, like, well, I still get my Wednesdays, right?
Yeah.
So she has Wednesdays, and then up the street, Jenny Novick, the most beautiful woman in the world, is so helpful. Anything we need.
Yeah.
A lot of the undergrad girls, everyone's so excited to see him all the time. Like, please let us come over and hang out with Catcher. We want to see the baby.
But when it comes to community, I think that we really worked something out right with Jenny. That it's reciprocity. It's like truest form. I would watch Micah, her little one, and then she would watch Catcher. It was never based on money or favors. Even though I guess I don't think it was favors. It was just like, I need you right now. Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna need you next week. Perfect. It's just brilliant how it worked out.
What's your favorite thing about going back to Vegas?
Family.
Definitely. Family, but heat comes like right behind family. It was really. This was the third snowiest winter in Connecticut history.
History. Not even just us.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's like history. It was
relentless.
It was relentless. At one point, we couldn't. There was like a 12-inch path where you would walk, and then there was 3 feet of snow on each side.
This whole bench was completely covered. It was gone. Everything. It's unbelievable.
It was so crazy cold.
I owe quite a bit of money to people because I was betting them that there will still be snow here when we leave in May.
We thought so.
Of course.
And for both of you, you really never grew up in cold climates, so...
No. We would go to Charleston to see snow, and that's like snow.